Chris Lumsdon this week. Give me some clubs, boys.
Sunderland,
Barnsley,
Crew,
Carlisle,
Blackpool.
Darlington.
Well done.
Call that a score draw.
Quick fire pointless, that
I
then.
didn't know it were a
Score
I didn't know
draw.
it were a quiz, to be honest. I thought we were just working in tandem, like we do best.
Well, thanks for joining us for episode 3. And once again, we'll keep going. Thank you very, 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 very much to all you Patreons that keep supporting the podcast. If you're not already involved, the link's in the description.
Over 120 episodes, John.
What you bought this week is a new gilet
I've gone Sherwood Wanker Gilet. And it's freezing in here.
and water bottle.
And it's a beauty.
7 a.m.
That's
rise
what-
and shine. 9 a.m. let's go. 11 a.m. you've got this. 1 p.m. stay hydrated. 3 p.m. drink up. 5 p.m. so close. 7 p.m. don't quit now. 9 p.m. you smashed it.
What you're on now?
Well, it's what time is it now? 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm 6 bells. So I am pissing it today.
You're ahead of the game.
And I will be
Will
pissing,
be
I'll be
when you
pissing all
finish
night.
that.
I'll be honest with you.
Can I just say, Chris,
Yes.
I looked at the stats again.
Yep.
We've come back. 24% people who watch part 1 of Jason McAteer.
With subscribers.
Subscribers.
Oh, so
what more can I do
what
to
can
get
we
the
do
point across?
other than say thank you to those that have subscribed since, but
Give a bit
a
of, can we
few
give
more.
Is it a bollocken? Can we give them a
you look
bollocken?
down that lens and give them a bollock.
Just press that button there, please.
I might even subscribe myself to that. To that
Get
play.
music
I
then
don't
that I
think that
have
was
nailed
much
it.
of a bollocking.
You know,
Like, if you were my dad, I'm still
him off,
staying
yeah.
there.
it's not
I'm
a
still
bollocken if you're
staying
saying
there a bit
please, but I'm not going to flip and... Anyway,
Should we get,
No,
should we
yeah.
get Lummy in?
And thanks again, Patreons.
I'll give them a bollock in the outro.
Yeah, outro. Oh, it's coming.
Finally, we've finally got someone on who can back me up on what Barnsley were like in early 2000s.
Listen, Ibiza, career ender.
I think we had a message on Twitter saying, was it going to Barnsley that
Listen,
the career kind of took a bump?
we could say that. You know, got down there. I'll tell you how I signed. It's we played Man U for Sunderland reserves. Had a great result on a Thursday. It was international week, so reserves everyone off. Going Friday, Saturday, Sunday, off you go. Had a little night out on the Friday. Saturday, I'm just at my local. First pint. Peter Reid rings us. Who's this? Why? Gaffer. He went, all right, son. Barnsley have came in. So I'm thinking, great. Like, you know, Barnsley want to go there. An hour and a half down the road. My mate lives there. You know, good club, good history in that. He says, they've got a game Tuesday in the Carling Cup. I went, oh. He went, they're training tomorrow. I was like, ah. I went, right. I went, who are they playing? He went, Newcastle United at home. I went, obviously, being a Geordie and that. I was like, right, I can take that. I says, right. He says, you're in the pub, aren't you? And yeah, I went, I'm just watching this, you know, the England qualifier via Greece. I says, oh, this will be easy. We'll win 4-0. Won't be a big night out. I'll just get myself away down Barnsley later on. What happens? Beckham scores last minute, doesn't he, with a free kick? The pub's erupting, everyone's partying, dancing. I'm like that. Right, I'll get myself down Barnsley. So off I go. Drive down to Barnsley, check in at the hotel. Went, so there's just a bar through there, watch the highlights and that. Went, yeah, well, bar's just through there. My nightclub's downstairs. I went, hotel's got a nightclub. Aye. I'll go and have one then. I think it was a Foster's Ice, something like that. I just went down to it. Have another one. Made sure I'd done it right. Got upstairs. Got in. Trained the next day. All that happened. And then I remember meeting Johnny. Well, we played in the game, but Tuesday night after the game, I said, what's going on? He said, there's a little bar called the Post Office up at Wakefield, something like that. He says, but tomorrow go out for you during the day. I'll go out for you during the day, Wednesday. I says, we're in training Thursday, but I'll go out. Stumbled across this pub called Butterfields, student night. I reckon that was me for 2 years. Wednesday, Saturday, Saturdays after a game, win, lose or draw, it was like Ibiza, what he says. It was unbelievable.
I still
It was
can't.
chocker. There was one time I was sitting in the pub on, is it Wellington Street? And I'm, yeah, ding, 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 ding. And all my mates are down, it's summer. And I'm like, you know, like in Ibiza where I have the carnivals. This is through Barnsley like that. And everyone's just partying. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Football was crap. I wasn't playing the best. But honestly, nightlife was unbelievable. So he's right. Anyone who asks, he's right.
Wednesday night were 3 for 1.
Was that the R&B night that Dave Mulligan would go on about?
And Mully
were out.
Mully loved it. Rory loved it. Well, my first game, like that Wednesday after the Newcastle game, the Resis had a game and they all piled in. So there's about 20, 25 people. And that was my introduction to them, really. Getting to know them in Butterfield on this R&B night. It was class.
You know, like how you've said, loads of lads have said about different clubs, like, just don't shit on your own doorstep. Like the fans, how you've lost and you're out. Different in Barnsley.
I completely shut on it, to be honest.
It's all over the place.
It was just young lad, on my own, single, finished training, and then you've got likes of Mully, you've got Rory, a little bit younger, Murph, Dudgeon, Gary Jones. I managed to incorporate him into it, Lee Crooks, and then it's just on, isn't it? You've got nothing else to do. And then the Wednesday night it was really good. And you know, even Kevin Betsy, who didn't even drink, I'd drag him into it, and because R&B and that, he liked it. I was telling you off air before, my mates went down last Saturday. They still go to Barnsley. They were there last Saturday on a day trip, and that's about the third of, in the last 2 years, sorry, about the fifth in the last 2 years they've been down. They'll absolutely love it.
Still?
They go
Still.
how many times a year?
Now, don't you?
They go at least 3 times a year. This is the first trip already. And this is February when you're meant to be off it a little bit.
I can understand, like, you know, if you go Iron Apple or you go to a nice place abroad and then you revisit for old times.
You don't have to. Certainly not in 2001 to 2004. That was the place.
If you think of a really, really good Saturday night, right? It's an incredible Saturday night where you get up next day and think, that was brilliant. This is Thursday morning.
Yeah.
From your Wednesday night.
I knew I would like it because I heard a bird the first time I went in a bar going, I'm getting absolutely twatted tonight. I'm in.
You'll do it for me.
It's just that Wednesday's a bad night, isn't it? In terms of coming in Thursday.
21 though. You bounce out of bed on the vodka Red Bulls, don't you?
Oh, remember
There was a few times I was back in bed on the Thursday afternoon and I've been training this morning. It was just adrenaline just running through, and I was playing. You know what? To be fair, that I was playing well on the Saturday as well.
See, Lummy did it for like 2.5 years. I did that for 7. Every Wednesday night for 7 years, 8 years. Till I had my little one, I had every Wednesday night.
They reckon when the manager got sacked, the secretary went in manager's drawer before like email. Well, not before emails, but before text and all that and social media. And there was about 20 letters. She went, "You're involved in about 18 of them." Spotted out.
Complaints.
Yeah, not complaints, but he was out again. And to be fair to Parkin, he went to me, you're playing well, just keep doing it. I was like, fair enough, because it broke the week up, to be honest.
That's all right, isn't it? Bit of a change.
We might as well get it out of the way. Remember the time on the pool table?
Do you want to tell it?
Not your pool table.
If you want it out there,
I'm not asked. I would only.
Right.
How much did you love the pool table?
Well, I just bought the pool table.
So a lot.
Shipped down from Newcastle, because I wanted it right. Got it down there, blue felt, games room. I say a games room is a room with a pool table and a few like Goodfellas posters, blue tacked up and that, the mini fridge.
That makes it a good
with a WKD in. And so the first night I've got it, like, instead of moved out to Brooklands, that was heartbreaking moving out.
Leaving the nightclub.
Honestly, it was heartbreaking. Got everything done for us, no bills, no now, but went there. So I've invited all these back, and I'm just upstairs, and you know, bit of a party in the kitchen and all that, and he's just come upstairs and he's just went, a little bit of a stain on your pool table. I went, oh, what's happened? Someone spilled a drink. I said, no, I just had one off one of the noshers. So one of the noshers were my first night out. I went to the toilet, there's 5 lasses lined up at the toilet. I've come out and went, hi Chris, you're the new player for Carlisle, aren't you? I went, yeah. She went, where are the noshers? I'm like,
They introduced themselves
as the noshers.
Oh, I didn't know they knew they were called them.
Why? They were like a girl band, like Spice Girls, All Saints, the Noshers.
There were 5 girls who called themselves.
I think it was more than 5, to be honest.
And they called themselves the Noshers.
The Noshers.
Did they do turns?
Why do people expect me to play championship level football when I've moved there? There's a nightclub downstairs. Johnny's about after every game in the players' lounge like that, just like Sunderland was. Every player was in. And then you go out on a Wednesday night, it's unbelievable. You go out on a Saturday and there's a girl man called the Noshers. What chance do you give us?
When there was fresh meat in town, new signing.
Even
Gingers. Even Ginger's got in.
Yeah, they did. But strawberry blonde and midnight peach got in even
Imagine
more.
them like discuss. Oh, he's Ginger for fuck. you can have him.
I signed near the summer, so the freckles had joined up, so I was not going to be all right.
You're gonna have to take one for the team.
So basically, I've had a little bit on the table, pool table, and it's in the D.
Were you fuming?
I was a little bit,
Did it come out?
The drink wasn't hitting as hard as I wanted to, and I was thinking, that's my new pool table, but...
I'm trying to think, would you prefer red wine than semen or?
I think go a minute. I can see a skid mark over a seam.
There would be one of them as well, somewhere.
Aye, there's one knocking about there.
It's the spot just covered it.
They were a good party.
I had a jacuzzi as well, and then 2 days later, the builder came in to make little modifications. He went, that's coming through. Well, what's happened there? He went, well, someone's either been in there very overweight in the jacuzzi for too long and the waters came over. I was like, was he in the jacuzzi?
Words waiting, John.
I weren't fat then. I was only 21, 22, 20, yeah, the 21, 22. So I weren't fat then.
By the way, very complimentary about Lummy's note.
Busy,
I think top of the pile.
I think
without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, we've had fag packets before, haven't we? Envelopes and stuff, but plastic envelope, 4 sheets.
I think it's for my own mind. I can get here, I can relax, I can sit down, I can try and remember a few things. But I can certainly remember that, what he's talking about. Barnsley, Ibiza, nightclub in the hotel, pool table ruined.
Probably we've talked before. I would have been under 14s, 15s at Sunderland while you were coming through, wouldn't I?
Yeah. So 1996, I joined.
You living in Newcastle, but
Yeah, living in Newcastle. I went round all the clubs just to get a feel of it. Newcastle was probably going to be the one, but I went to Arsenal, and remember we were at Arsenal, there's a few lads from the northeast there, and we've stayed in a hostel in the middle of London, bit grim. We went to training, and then this helicopter come down, and this scout and this lad comes over. And we're like, yeah, why is he getting like preferential treatment? Absolute joke. I think we played Sheffield United in a friendly. We were 5-0 up after 33 minutes. This lad had scored 5, Michael Owen. So at the end, we're like, Michael, you come back, you jumped on the bus for the hostel. He went, no, I'm staying somewhere else, lads.
Back in the chopper.
Hotel. Wasn't in the background, but then a chopper home. But Liverpool had told him, he was telling us, Liverpool had told him, he always knew he was going to sign. They said, go and have a little look, and you'll find where the best. And obviously that's what he done.
Did all right in the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
Why didn't you sign down there? Not get a feel for it?
Nowhere near.
Did you go to a few other clubs in?
Yeah, went to Rangers. Barry Ferguson took us under his wing a little bit. But the problem I had, first minute I got in there, I was staying in the digs with about 6-7 lads, older than me, much older. Protestant or Catholic. So obviously the bullying started straight, and it's not great when I'm going up there with ginger hair and a brace fitted top and bottom on it. So it's already started. Then I've said I'm Catholic. Might as well just said, come on, twatters all over. But then, to be fair, I done well, and Barry Ferguson took a little bit of an interest, and then I went back 99, pre-season friendly, Ian Ferguson's testimonial, and I was in midfield against Barry Ferguson, and he clocked us, and he gave us his shirt and that, and he got us a few shirts by Michael Moll signed in that, which was a nice touch. And then, as I said, it was maybe Newcastle. Always remember, knew a few people in. My dad knew a few people in Newcastle's academy, but it wasn't academy then. In the club, they said Keegan's just signed Darren Huckabee for $1 million to win the youth league, and I think it was John Carver said he's not because he's too old. So they were looking down that to sign people for £1 million, 100,000, and I went, where can I get in? Sunderland was struggling, bottom of Championship, and I thought I'll get in there. And then my dad said, if you go to League One, you're not signing, but if they stay in the Championship, you can. Mick Buxton went, Peter Reid came in, and then Martin Smith had an unbelievable end of season, didn't he, and keep them up. So I went and signed there.
So I remember in the youth team, big money then was like, I think we had lads on maybe 1,500 quid a week. I mean, say ours was 300, the average players, but the top ones were like 1,500. Now, you're talking 10 grand a week, 15 grand a week. It's just life-changing money.
Yeah.
Dean Saunders told the story, didn't he? His son was at Crewe to go down to Spurs, and he'd make something like over his contract £1 million, or he'd stay at Crewe, and he's thinking, get in the first team, and then build your career. And to be fair to Saunders' son, he went, I'll stay. And 3 weeks later, he got injured, and then he's on trial for Barrow 6 months later. And then Dean Saunders is saying, should I have advised him to go down?
What are you advising your son?
I think I'm going for the money, mate.
Advising Oliver.
Because like you said, it's a massive risk the other way, isn't it?
No,
If you get injured like that, and then you're dropping down the way, and you've got to put your way back up.
It's changed now, though, hasn't it? The money is unbelievable now. I'm even telling players sometimes you can't knock that back.
I know.
You cannot knock it back. You're probably going to be out the game at 25, but you know what? You probably should have invested in 3 houses, something like that, and that's the way up.
So how old were you when you signed on the dotted line at Sunderland?
About 15, then just done a year's schoolboy, and then 16, moved literally 5 doors down. Yeah.
Oh, so you moved
into a hostel.
Over here.
My first night there, I got it's first night. Next day, you're going in for the first time. I went in my room, checked my room, a bit nervous and that. Went downstairs, went back up. I'm like, what's that smell? Just won't go. And just like Daz Holloway in next door. Finally look under my bed. There's an Asics, because we're sponsored by there's an Asics boot football boots. Open it up, there's shit in there. And you're just like that. I've just left home. I'm like,
That's 16.
Shed a tear.
At 16, it's heavy, innit?
Yeah, I literally just left my nana's that night and said bye to everyone. There's a shit on my bed. And then
welcome gift.
It doesn't even get better the next day. I walk in, and David Kelly's my hero. David Kelly's a hero of mine. I've watched him at Newcastle and doing well at Sunderland. And I'm just sat there waiting, cleaning my own boots, waiting to see we're getting signed. And he's walked in. He's went, "What's your name?" I went, "Lummy." He went, "No, it's not. It's Ginge from now on. Get us a cup of tea." I just went, "Oh my God, I don't know if I'm cut out for this." So David Kelly, my hero, is just Ginge's off. I've had a shit under my bed. I'm honestly questioning everything here.
Would that have hurt you a little bit at that time?
I think one of the YTs helped us. The older one, a couple of days later, he says, "You know, you're only getting battered because we like you. You're having a bit of crack." A couple of mates were really quiet and keeping down. I was kind of putting myself out there. I'd walk in the first team, I'd knock and go in, and I'd be a bit busy, but in that way I was getting to know the pros a little bit more. There was a time when I can't remember the movie that was out. It was a scary movie. Obviously the hostel's massive, and you could hide behind things, and everyone started scaring each other for the crack, and funny is out. But one day me and one of the lads is hid above the toilet. So when someone comes in the toilet, we're going to jump out. So we're above them, so they can't see us. So I won't mention who it is because they're doing quite well in football now, but it just came in like that. Got butt naked. I'm thinking, oh, we're going to have a shower. That's even better. Just see him reaching behind the sink. What's going on, yeah? Big stash comes out, porn mag. I'm like, shall we?
Trying your best not to laugh.
Shall we? I went, and me mate hands, get into it full flow. So I'm like, I don't know if I can watch this. So we've watched for a bit, and it's facials, it's everything, and we can tell his feet are starting to go.
Is he fully clothed off? Fully naked?
Naked, and 3 mags. Three, not just one.
Talk curling.
They were on the verge. Little one was going, and we just went, and he doesn't know what to do first. Is it close? Is it Mac? So he slipped on the back, and we just and he's like, "I'm gonna kill him." We just sprinted. Honestly, it was unbelievable, and that was just every day. There was something every single day, and as I say, who ran it? They just heard everything going on, but just let it go.
3 mags as well.
3 mags, proper, and we went there a bit. It wasn't that's it. It was yes. He's got a fetish. I'd love to see who it was, but
you got one size 12, one size 8, and one fucking size 18.
Yeah, it's
you all do.
Yeah.
What you doing there?
You know what I'm doing?
You're carrying on.
I'm carrying on.
What are you doing?
I think I'd similar reaction. I'd be like, whoa,
you flashing. Try and cover it. You cover yourself up.
But there's so much going on there.
Yeah, there's just too much.
So many boxes to tick.
Also, there's a kind of see-through window, you know what's a bit
frosted.
Right, so he's kind of got the towel there, so he's thinking towel, mag, them. Who is it? To be fair, he's not even know who it is at first, because the shock of it.
To fully cloth off as well, that's commitment to the cause, isn't it?
Aye.
See, I'm just carrying on.
I think you'll be jump like scared.
Yeah,
and then,
Oh yeah.
oh, you're right, lads. Crack on.
No, I won't be scared. I'd be scared from the.
The share, yeah.
Aye.
But then I think, well, it's up to you if you want to stay, lads.
Especially when the toes are curling.
If you're near here, if you're not last few vineyards through, it's not as you've got to carry on, ain't you?
Yeah,
Can you not give us a clue?
I'll tell you off air. Because if I say what role he's in, there's a couple of ex and they could get tarred with it.
Did they ever kick off?
There's a few. Fight on the first night. Two lads from Manchester United came up because Pop Robson got them in. They were arguing about their bed. One lad was saying, fuck this, I can go home and make more money dealing. The other lad was saying, stick it out. He was saying no, and then they just had a scrap in the middle of the floor. The other YTs ran in, Dad's Holloway and that. Yeah, go on, let's get this sorted down. Not bringing it up, let's get this for real. But yeah,
It's an introduction in itself, isn't it? Scrapping and in your room, lock it door, what have I come
I mean,
to
you know
here?
what Bridges like, Michael Bridges, like he's in there, like enough said.
He's my number one favourite for the
Shit.
No,
The toe curler.
the toe curl.
No, not Bridgie.
Guess who?
Or were you allowed to take, if you pull one a night out, are you allowed to take them back? Or?
No, 9 o'clock curfew.
Because there would have been Rammers, Cliffy Byrne, that age group.
Yeah.
And I used to go once a week. And they used to have wanking competitions. I think I've told this before, but they used to first one to come.
In the same room?
Yeah, because I don't know if there was bunk beds then or just like random single beds.
Oh, no.
First
This is
one to come.
before iPhones and that, isn't it? They got bored.
And I was only 15.
With top three?
Did you get involved?
No, I did have it. No,
It's
that's
horrible.
It's awkward. I was like,
Skiing down
Half times
skiing
a
for
change. Them first couple of weeks as an apprentice, like, I don't think you would have been all right. It's horrible, isn't it? I was the last year of the absolute old school where anything went, and I mean anything.
were you doing well though? Were you?
The wanking competition.
Fucking black.
well-
We're in top two every week.
To be fair, I got in, and as I said, I was smaller and I was a bit thinner. And to be fair, when I went in, I made a note of putting everyone who was in front, a bit busy, but I put everyone who I thought was in front of us, from like literally the first team right down to my YTS. And I think I was bottom of centre mids. And then a little opening opened up on the right side of midfield, and I played in a pre-season friendly for the youth team and done really well. And Rick Sabrasia put us in the reserves the next day. I didn't get on. But from then, I was just ahead, and I hit the ground running with the youth team. And then I got in the reserves. Came on, we were 3-0 down. We drew threes each, and I set up the equaliser. 16. Got in the Resi squad the following week and scored the winner in the last minute at Highfield Road against Coventry. My dad learnt about it in the paper, because by the time I got up in training, I couldn't ring him or anything. He got up for work, and it was in the Journal or the Chronicle that I'd scored the winner, so he was like buzzing. But from that moment, we used to have first team reserves and youth team. I bypassed the reserves, so if we had 10 players in the first team, keeper would drop out, Peter Reid would play, and I'd be the one who went over. And I'd done that for about 6 months.
Some heavy progression, that, in a short period of time, isn't it?
And then I would have to go back with them to like do a few of the jobs before the other lads got back. And I remember just sitting, I'd left school like 3 months earlier, and I'm sitting in a dressing room like Chris Woods, Chris Waddle, Paul Stewart, Tony Courtin, and I'm just sitting there going like, I was playing like football championship manager a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just sitting there listening to their stories, like pretending to pick up the slips and that, but listening to everything they're going on about. It was unbelievable.
How did you get on with Ricky? Because I remember with Ricky, he could cripple you with one sentence.
We were talking about this with
Ricky,
me.
sorry.
Ricky Sprazier. So he ended up managing the first team, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he was youth team for a long time, youth team and reserves.
Yeah, Ricky was... He would kill you in one sentence. Like, he was harsh as anything. Like, we were 4-0 up in my first youth team game, and then I dragged the lad back, and he's just ran down the touchline, and he's give it everything. I remember I would pump the balls up for the first team, and Bobby Saxon goes, who pumped up these balls? And I went, me. And Ricky knew what was going to happen. And he went, get in the centre circle. And all the lads, first team, lined up with the footballs. And Ricky's went to his head them as hard as you can, it'll impress them. So they're drilling them at us. Well, obviously they've got us over because the balls are too hard. Headed about 8 and I've nearly passed out. And when I've got back over, he's went, that'll teach you. And I'm like, how are Ricky, man? I'm playing well for you. I'm training hard. You're getting us a concussion over there. But
They're talking about whether you should edit at all there.
honestly, I'll never. From then, they were too late. I wasn't bothered what were they going to do about too late, but I knew what the crack was.
Was he when you were close to that first team? How was he with you, Reid? Would he pull you in and talk to you?
I used to clean the coach's room, and I used to see the team for the Friday.
You're first to know.
Kind of, yeah. So there'd be him, Bobby Saxton, Pop Robson, Rick, Sam Aldice was in for a time, and they'd just be on the bud. After every training session, be on the bud, just relaxing, having a few, and then I'd look up and I'd just be like, I'd have a look. But progressed, done well, and then it was an unbelievable week, to be honest. There was a few injuries kicking about. He's just came up to us and he just went, there's something for your mum and dad to look at. Have a look at it, see what you think, and come back to us. So after my first year YT, I'd signed a 3-year pro, but this was my second year YT. First year kind of pro, but I still should be a YT. 3 months in and I've just went like that. A few months in. And he's just I went like that and opened the envelope. And when you get a contract, I don't know what they're like now, but it goes date to date, a year, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it got to about the second, I thought there'll be one after that, and it just kept coming. It was like a new 5.5-year deal, and I was just like, So at 18, that would never been known, never been offered. So I quickly put it in. It was like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. The best one was,
I gotta go and take it.
My mum and dad had watched us on the Saturday against Crystal Palace, and they'd never bollocked us. They were on us. Said, you were a disgrace today. You're never going to make it. So there was a little bit of us when I walked into the house and went, fuck.
How would you like them apples?
So 5-year deal, and then we just got advice off the PFA, Vince O'Thief, and I must have signed the worst 5-year deal. I must have signed the worst 5-year deal in history, wage-wise, but signed it. Literally a couple of other people dropped, pulled us in, really went, you're playing against Wolves on Saturday. And there's another letter for you. I went, England under 18 call up, playing on the Saturday against Wolves, and I just signed like literally on the Tuesday. So that week was just, and it was my last at the time's 18th on the Saturday party after the Wolves game. We win 1-0 last minute, 600 quid win bonus. How big am I walking into that party like that? Bit of links, like that, brute, in I go, but. Yeah, he was great with us. As I say, that Wolves game, I was ill before it, like night before. Larry, the coach driver, remember Larry? Deaf, wasn't he?
What?
He's deaf. So his telly's on loud as out, me and Thur, like, can't even get to sleep.
I was in the next room.
Next room. But I would have been up anyway, I think. It's funny, that trip to Wolves, because we had injuries. ITV News and BBC News are there, aren't they? And they're like, let's get her. So me and Thurv walked on the coach. Me and Thurv are going to get on the coach, but Bawley before it said, you know what new lads do? They bring porn for the bus. Like, what? I went, bring porn mags for the bus. And we're like, is he serious? Do you reckon he's serious? Well, it's Bawley, we better get it anyway. Like, he's intense as fuck. So we go and get the porn mags. I get knocked back. I've still got the brace on, and Thurv goes and gets them. And then ITV and News are like that. We're all caught up in the moment. They went, can you just walk on the bus? We're going to film yous. Forgetting about it, Anna. I'm like, 2 porn mags on. So we're on for about 5 minutes. Look, Friday, we're going to have to do that again. So we have to walk on.
You put the readers' wives in your bag, please.
Walk on again without the porn, and off we go. Unbelievable.
Did you say you started at Wolves then?
Started, aye.
Is this the promotion year?
This is the playoff year. The
year.
Mickey Gray year.
And how far into the season is it?
February.
Right.
So get in 1-0 Bawley last minute. And then, to be fair, we won a great run. Everyone came back. There was a couple of 1-match suspensions. So I was on the bench against Reading. We're 4-1 up and he didn't put us on. I was like, then Pop Robson was saying, just grab him. Say, put us on, Gaffer. He'd love anything like that. And he would, knowing it now, he would have. But when you're 18, you're not grabbing the gaffer, are you, and saying, like, chuck us on.
Were you still in the squad then for that? You know, so when they went to Wembley and stuff, were you making the squads?
It was 3 subs. So I was travelling around, but I wasn't getting on the bench. Do you know what I mean?
But
I was in, but it was good. Exactly. So it was great to be around, like learning off all them and that. But do you not feel when you first signed footballer though, like all these things you've got about football, you're in love with it, aren't you? The minute you go into a professional dressing room, you kind of realise what it's about, and the dream not goes, but it's like, it's a job.
It's not what I expected.
It's not what I expect. You've got people like, they are playing for the shirt and you get some good pros.
Yeah.
But you realise quite quickly it's like everyone's for themselves, and there's politics all over the place. And that little bit where, you know, you see people now on forums and that saying, well, why doesn't he do that? And why doesn't he do that? He's one of our own. He loves the club because he's getting offered $5,000 more down the road. And my mates who were Newcastle fans couldn't understand that for Sunderland. And in the end, playing for Sunderland made me want to be better for them than Newcastle, because that's your job, and people just couldn't get a head around it.
Were you ready for a loan then?
My first loan came after my Premier League debut. So what happened with got in and out in the squad, not in the squad, and then the Championship game came after. Sorry, the Championship title came after the Charlton game. We got beaten in the playoffs, but the next season we just ran away. It was unbelievable. Youth team were winning every game. Reserves were winning every game. First team were winning every game. There's a competition who would lose first. But the atmosphere around the club was amazing. Like, the youth team got treated well. The reserves got treated exactly the same as the first team. So if we played, we got days off. We didn't have to come in, like, because the first team we were in, we were getting days off. And it just got to a point I got a bit of an injury. And I just thought, I'm going to have to train through the summer. And I trained through the summer. And honestly, I don't know what happened, but I went in pre-season and everything I touched just went right. I mean, Bobby Saxon pulled us and went, them 3 passes you just made. You know, Kieran Dyer just went for 5 million to Newcastle. You should be going for 5 million. Honestly, 2 of them I didn't even mean. I just like passed it between the lines, and like someone's ran onto it. So I got in, like I played against Sampdoria and then played against Rangers in pre-season. That's where I met Barry Ferguson again. And he said, you're going to play. He goes, sign Stefan Schwartz. When Stefan Schwartz isn't fit, you're going to play. First day of the season, on the left, tucked in. It's like, brilliant. Got down there, it was 38 degrees, something like that. Struggling. And I'm looking at Steph and I'm thinking, in my head, I really want to play, but I'm playing against Chelsea here. Desai, Deschamps, they're flying. They've just signed Chris Sutton for 10 million. I don't think he fancies it, Steph. We've got Watford on Tuesday at home. So Steph's like, no, good. I'll be all right for Tuesday. I'm like, I know his game. But I'm getting my Premier League debut. It's great. So I come out for the game. Ed de Gauw, first minute, throws it out to Petrescu. Ran over. I've weighted him. Got my arm against him. Cruyff, Deschamps, and give it back to Steve Bould. I went, hello.
He's in it.
Premier League's a piece of piss. Literally, God knows what's gone on. But I think 2-0 down. I can't breathe. I can't see. I've got Dimitir going one way. I've got Poyet floating in. I'm pretty sure Zola at one point megged us and ran through my legs himself. I've played Chris Sutton on 3 times for one-on-ones. He's missed. And do you know the celebration, the Ravanelli, Tino Asprilla and the Lee Sharp? I've done all them in the dressing room at half-time when Peter Reid says, just come off. I'm absolutely delighted. It was horrendous. It was absolutely horrendous.
What do you think it was? Like
pace, power, not nerves, I know, but Chelsea were just ready. We were finding our feet. You know, Gaffer was finding what would work. He was quite loyal to people who got Championship promotion. And it was just one of them days where they're on fire. You know, when Zola lobs it and Poyet scores that scissor kick, that's the game. People say, were you tracking Poyet? I went, not then. I was in the bench like that. Happy as Larry.
Well, they're just too good for you.
It's just ridiculous. Just too good. Athletes.
I know it's hindsight, but say if you play Watford at home on that first game and you go in, you get a result, you do well.
And the problem was, after that, he didn't put us in again for a while. And then that's when the loan had to come.
Can you remember your first time going away with the first team, get on them trips? Like you said, you're being around them players now that you were looking up to.
Yeah. So at 18, the year I made my debut, what ended in the Charlton game at the playoffs, we all got told, me included, beating Newcastle Airport, we're going to Marbella for 4 days. So I'm thinking Marbella is going to be like a night out in Newcastle. It's going to be like Zante, Magaluf, something like that. And we get there and it's just one bar called Sinatra's. I know it's changed over the years. And just outside Sinatra's is the port. And Mickey Gray's just sitting on the port a little bit drunk. And Nash is leaning on a car like that. And
That's Lee Clark.
Lee Clark, yeah, sorry. And Gaffer said, come on, sort yourself out with you. And Lee Clark's went, monkey's head. So I don't know where Mickey's gone, but Micky Holland's made sure that the ex-Kitman, Harvey Mix, has made sure that Nash has got home to the front door, not up to his room. So the next day, Micky Gray wakes up and he's already heard on his mobile, Lee Clark, that Micky Gray's done something bad and he's in trouble with a gaffer. And he just goes to Micky Gray. Nash goes, Christ, you're in trouble, Mickey. Like, gaffer's not happy. Mickey just looks at him and goes, I'm in trouble. I seen the state of you. Nash has got cut from there to there. He's tripped on the top step to his room and he's forward rolled into, you know where the hose pipes are in hotels and the glass door, into that. So he's cut all himself. He's managed to get into bed, mortal. So they both woke up together. So Nash is like that. He's monkey-heed the gaffer off. And it's carnage. Peter Reid went, Mickey, you take the lads out for a meal tonight. Mickey doesn't end up coming, but he goes and Bridgie's buying champagne and pouring it away and all that. But that was only one story. Next one, we're at the port. I think this is a year later. Daz Holloway and there. Well, Daz Holloway, for some reason, just looking over the port, and there's a boat about 6 yards away. I can jump that. Why, Daz? I can jump it. I'm going to run and jump it. And then there's a bit of a rope leading over to it. And I'm like, I reckon you should run over the rope. No one is going to fall. He's like, reckon? I went, I think it's the rope. So I turn around and go, watch this. Dad's going to try and get over this to this boat. He's like that. Next thing he goes for it, all you hear is splash. Hanging on this rope. Thurwell's like, Micky Holland kicks there over the port. Now, when you look down, the water's just not there. It's about a 10-foot drop. So Thur said, I've got time to think about it as I'm falling. So we're all laughing our heads off. So we're having a drink. It's about 10 minutes later. I walk up at the port. Daz is still hanging. I'm like, Daz, you're not going to do it. He's going, I'm going to pull myself up. I went, you're not going to do it. Splash, in he goes. He comes out. They're absolutely freezing. So we get them I Love Marbella T-shirts and they're in them for the rest of the night. Absolutely freezing cold. Absolute joke. And again, it's like Bobby Saxon goes, why can't we take yous away and yous behave? And it was just like, I was relay races in these posh Marbella hotels.
How old are you here now?
I'm 18.
And you're seeing this going on. First team lads.
Yeah, I walked into Niall Quinn in the reception the next morning. He went, come with me for breakfast. And he took us on this balcony thing in Marbella, and I'm having lobster and seafood for breakfast, and I'm 18.
With Niall Quinn?
With Niall Quinn, where I'm from, I'm like that. It's unbelievable.
Was it just you and him?
Because Quinny was Quinny would do 80, I'm telling you, do 15 to 18 Guinness, and he'd just steady away, and then the next day, he'd just be up, and out he'd go again.
Was Micky Gray a water bag back then with his drink?
Mickey was great though, because he loved a night out. He'd come out, but he'd have a kip every so often. He'd have a little kip.
I've seen him. Even when I was going out in the youth team, I'd see him in Chase on a Tuesday, asleep in the corner.
Wasn't out having half an hour, like, just to recuperate?
Just a little then ban back in the game.
Back at it.
I don't know who he was out with. He was just a kip on his own in the corner.
It's like so many stories. Like Marbella again, not behaving myself. Johnny Oster's got home and decides he wants a bath. We're in these 5-star hotels. You know, this is before all the young start coming to Marbella. It was now we can stay a bit cheaper, but these were like 5-star hotels. Johnny's ran himself a bath. He's forgot about it, and Danny Dicio and Micky Gray on the thingy below, then the floor below. Deitch wakes up and goes, Mickey, you left the window open, it's raining. Bath's dripping. So they managed to get up and stop it. But then as I come back in the taxi in Thurwell, Bobby Saxon's just pacing up and down. We're for it. This bill's going to be unbelievable. And like Johnny's had to pay like massive bill for like leaking the room. Didn't get chucked out though. I say, it's like ridiculous.
So Are you doing any? Are these just end of season trips?
These are
any training going on?
No, absolutely nothing. It's like I sat on the plane with Bally, and thank God I sat on the plane with Bally, because like we're on the day out onwards, Marbella, and everyone's drinking. So I'm like that when we first drink, and he's like that, oiling up his arms
On the plane?
oiling up his arms. I said, Bally, what you doing? He went, you can get sunstroke. From the plane. But that's Bally, isn't it? That's him. And then next thing, I'm just getting in the zone thinking this holiday's going to be class. And he went, Lammy, if we go under and drown, how do you know where the top of the sea is? I'm like, doing our Bally? He says, blow a bubble. I'm like, class. And I'm trying to get in the zone now. The plane's like that, and I'm starting to think, oh my God. And then speaking of Bally and Marbella, me and Con were the youngest on the trip. Oh, you two, get over here. There's no music round the pool. Everyone, €10. So there's about 25 on the trip. You two, go on, piss off. You and Mark Convery. You two, go and get a stereo. Get it, come back, and we'll get some tunes on. And get 10 CDs. All right, no bother. Just walk around. Anyone who knows Con went, oh, well, fuck getting them. We're going out. So here's me and him with like 300 quid, whatever, down the port. We'll have a little Lummy and Convery day, will we? So sitting there, I won't tell you what's on the back street behind Sonata's, but we all know. So we have a lovely little day, a few drinks, a few other things. Next thing is about 5 o'clock. Oh, here's, oi! Bally's on his mid-afternoon walk, isn't he?
Spied you.
What the fuck are you two doing? Oiled up. What's the matter, Bally? What's the matter? Where the fuck you two been? Just here. Well, where's the money? It's gone, Bally. Gone? Where the fuck's it gone? Brass and booze, Bally. It's like that. You fucking what? He starts coming, we just scramble like that. But I leave a bit of money and just tear off. Honestly.
But are you not shooting yourself in what the repercussions to that going to be?
Nah, we've had a few. We're from the cheeky. We've had a couple of cheeky.
So they're waiting for you to come back with the sound system. And
the CDs.
We're sent out, and this was the problem. We got sent out, and we're like, fuck them. Like, Con and me are like, fucking he sound better than him. Fucking he's telling me what to do. He fucking hasn't even got a left foot, him. Just absolutely hammering the lads. And then we go back, and then we get back, and they're like, why the fuck you two been? And we're running past people, and they're like, Bally's afterward. And they went, did they find your eye? And I went, what'd the money go on? We tell them, and they're just like, ah. And then the gaffers pulled me like the next day and just said, is that what true happened? I went, aye. And he just went, that's fucking
Loved
brilliant. Like, absolutely brilliant.
Somebody asked me the other day, actually, who's had the worst clubber in football, and I hope you agree here. Niall Quinn.
Aye.
Was right up there, and obviously I was only young, so I couldn't really say now. But
talk us through it. What?
Oh, like long jumpers to there. We used to call them like the Mexican. Like come in like that.
Like a poncho.
Aye, but Marbella again. Mark Maley, one of the young lads, was rooming with him, and Quinny, as I said, goes missing. He just goes on these massive like not massive, but he knows a lot of people, Quinny, so he goes and meets his Irish friends, and he goes out for the day. By the time he gets home, it's bed done up. So he's been like not been in his room for 3-4 days. Maley's like 18. Maley's put everything on his room. So what Maley does is like he went, where's Quinny? We're flying in 3 hours. It's like 6 a.m. Quinny's still out. Maley packs his suitcase, takes it downstairs. Went, you're being nice. He went, aye, I've got to. Quinny comes up. We went, Quinny, can you just sort the bill out? Goes 1,700 quid. Maley's put everything for 4 days, like club sandwiches, drink, like everything on Quinny's bill. And he's just went, Maley, you little fat twat, where are you? And Maley's running away and he's going, and mate, in all fairness, Quinny, I've saved you. He went, saved you from what? He went, well, you were going to wear them cargo shorts, white socks, and leather-based shoes for a night out. I hid them. Quinny went, you little cunt, but
we went back paid the bill.
I remember the white socks and black shoes.
Honestly, we remember one time we were sitting in there and Micky Holland took us to this box. We got talking to these people and he took us to like a bit of a wrong-in bar in Marbella. You know, like you've seen Arvida's in Pet where the Cockneys are in there.
A bit rough.
It's gangsters. It's people with a lot of money. all the heavyweights up, and it was when Tottenham, Man U, won on the last day against Tottenham. So we're just having a few drinks, and you tell you've got to be careful. What was it, Martin Smith and John Muller sitting there, and I said something loud, and they went, Lummy, you want to shut up, like, because that fucking hard bastard behind you is going to fucking knock you clean out. So I wouldn't look. So having a few more drinks, he went, he's fucking coming over, he's right behind you. He's going to fucking knock you out, Lummy. Turned round, Jeremy Beadle. Beadle on the beer.
Fuck off.
I fancied me fucking chances, to be fair.
Especially if he gives me his right.
Yeah, but I was letting you say that one. Beadle's in the bar.
Beadle's about.
So,
Massive
as I said,
cock
it's just like, I'll tell you the last one, but talking about that, as an agent who was my agent and stuff, he comes out with us. He used to do the radio, Tony McGill. Gilly, people will know him as.
That's him, the ice cream man.
Yeah,
I was on about
Chupa Chups
yesterday.
as well. Chupa Chups fan. He does the Chupa Chups as well. Great agent, sorted me right out. But he, good mates with Frank Bruno. So we're on the pool having a couple of drinks, like the younger lads, and we're all giddy. And then Frank comes down. He's like, "All right, you're all right, you're all right." And as he goes, Maley just goes, "Oh, Frank, you've seen more canvas than Van Gogh." And you know how Frank's like nice as pie. I seen the switch, and we've all just moved, and Maley's just went, "Fuck."
I mean, it's funny, but
It's Frank. World champion.
It's Frank, aye. And then we're walking down the street, and he lights a tab, smokes. I don't know what he's doing it for. And then Peter Reid walks around the corner, and he goes, "Oh, fucking hell, Maley, fucking hell." I says, "Oh, gaffer, just make him like pay for all the food at the airport tomorrow." He went, "Don't you go there, Lummy." I went, "Fucking hell, Maley, like, I've done now and you've got me into it here." Bearing in mind, we're flying home, and that's us off for like 7 weeks. So the next morning, I'm at like breakfast, and I'm like trying to see the gaffer, like just to see if I'm all right. He went, "All right, Lummy, good night last night." I went, "Aye." I went, "Maley, you're all right?" The sound. So we fly all the way back. We get a coach from London all the way back to Yarm to drop the gaffer off. Gaffer goes, "Enjoy, everyone. Have a good holiday. Maley, I'll see you the first day back in my office." Killed him. So I've went away from Magaluf like with Maley that summer, and every time he's having a laugh, you just see him going, "Yeah, oh." I'm like, "What's the matter?" He went, "Gaffer's office first." Gaffer's just absolutely left one on him, like, killed him. And good management, to be fair,
for the whole
like,
summer.
absolutely broke his summer. Unreal.
What happened first day back?
Pulled him in, just went, didn't really say an out. It was all right.
Slap on the
But
wrist.
I killed him. I literally killed his whole summer, like 7 weeks.
I mean, I've spoken about Harvey Mix and the influence that he had in our changing room. I think he had even more of an influence.
So Mick came in as a masseur, and Nash got him in, Lee Clark, I think, because he was best mates with the Kitman at Newcastle, so we got him in.
Was he selling the merch back then?
Yep, watches, few bags. Wasn't into all the t-shirts and that, but the watches were booming.
You get involved?
Did I? Could not. It was the queue with it. Everyone was involved. It was quality.
I'll say it again. He must have made an absolute £100 a watch. Well, I don't know what he was charging for you. He charged us £100.
Yeah, it was about £100 a watch. And Mick was class like that. I was texting him the other day because he was just saying that, like, how he'd get himself into little scrapes and how he'd make himself some money sometimes. And he's just like, at the end of a meal, we've already paid for it. And he's going, "Oh, tenner for the chef." Like, we've tipped Mick. He went, "No, tenner for the chef." Considering it's a Christmas do, there's 30 lads. He's like, "Another good night in bar hall for me."
There's back pocket.
Back pocket, aye.
Tenner for the chef.
Aye. It's but no, even like little things I was going to say through the time in Sunderland, the resis and stuff, like all part of that, where we were treated so well and why the gaffer, and that took us all the way to the resis. We were playing like in front of 30,000 against Man U in Liverpool resis at the Stadium of Light, and we were doing well. And the whole club was bouncing. Like, they were winning, we were winning, youth team were winning. And like for 4 years where I was there, it was just like that. And it was just unbelievable time.
The dynamic within the dressing room, like you said, around the first team. And what was it, the younger lads kind of running it? Like you said, you've got some big characters in that first team, man. I know you're not running it.
Not running football-wise, but off the pitch we were on it. We were like...
And were the older lads loving that?
Loving it. Absolutely loving it. I didn't turn up for a Christmas do once. I was late. and someone give Quinny my number, and he's absolutely battering us and swearing, and someone went, it's Lummy's home number. He's on my mum's answering machine going, you fucking little... Then but he went, oh, sorry, Mrs. Lumsdon, we'd just like him to be participating this afternoon.
I think the older lads relive their youth through the young lads.
Yeah, it's like when we got older, I was class watching the youngins come in and spoil themselves and that.
That was a crack with a paintball, and I think Bally.
Oh, paintball. And so, don't really fancy it. We're going out after. Bally's like that. I'll book it. I'll do this. I'll do that. So about 89th minute, he gets done in a tackle. Gordon, the physio, runs on. Gordon says before ball, he's even assessed the injury. He's like, I'm going paintballing. Whatever's wrong with me, I'm going paintballing. So we've got the paintball and everyone's in the standard suit. And from nowhere, Bally just comes. He must have paid about 500 quid for the extra suit, the extra ammo, extra glasses. And he's right, I'm fucking captain of the Reds. I'm in the Reds.
With your Rambo.
In the end, I wasn't in the red. I ran. He went, go. I just climbed out for the duration, shot myself a few times, went back after an hour, just went back in because he was brutal. He would just kill you. He would go.
Imagine him, man.
What happened with Schwartz and was there something with some money?
Oh, yeah, Cy Ramsden told it, didn't he? We went away, Belgium, something like that, and we got there. And they said, just go and have a jog. And went, the kit hasn't arrived, just go and jog in what you've got on. Because we had travel suits. So we've all put our wallets, phones down and that. And then you're still young lads, like on good money, but not great money. And then we just started running, jogging, and all you can see is all this money, like blown away. And it was like against a mesh fence and it just stuck high and everything. And I'm gone.
Like crystal maze.
And I'm like, I'm gone. Someone go and I'll go. And Cy's just made the leap because Cy at the time was really young. So he wasn't on the best of money. He just went, I'm gone. Convery, we all just are climbing the fence, getting as much as we can. And then in the end, like, he's not even asked for it back. I give him a bit of a note back. Like, I give him whatever back it was. And Steph just went, wiped his sweat with it and put it down. I was like, got a few quid, haven't you?
But if I remember, he wasn't a dick with it. He was
It wasn't.
He?
He was literally just like, if I'd done it, I'm being a knob.
Yeah.
I'm like that.
But he's in a position there anywhere. All his money's blown off, and he's not wanting to be running after it.
Exactly.
Picking it up.
I think he just kind of lived with it and just thought, that's my money gone, but I'll make what I can with it.
Did you play against Gaza?
Yeah. So we're playing a Middlesbrough team full of stars, and I just remember we're out playing, and then there's a throw in, and Jimmy Five Bellies is there, and Gaza goes, "Oh, Jimmy, you better get that video." Yeah, he went, "You better get that videotape." What do you mean, Gaza? He went, "If that videotape isn't in my bag by the end of this fucking game, you're for it." So all you see is Jimmy, like New Ferrens, you could see it. He comes out, runs quick. There's a stoppage in play, and there's no stand, so you can see him run up to his car. Andy Townsend goes, "Fucking hell, Gaza, what video?" He went, "There isn't one. It's funny, innit?" So just give Five Bellies an absolute panic. I'm just saying, he'll be down home now, like on video. But he was great because I remember having the ball at one point, and he was behind us, and I didn't know where to go. I was trapped, and he went left back. I was trying to hold, and if he wanted to shove us out the way, he could. And he went left back. And I went, sod it, Middlesbrough getting the ball back here, but I've just hooked it towards, so my back's to play, left back will be over there, and I've just hooked it like that. Left back's in loads of space. Hecky, I think it was, Heckenbottom just steps out with it, he just can't, good lad, taps us over the head. It was like, fair play. And then, like, I've played against a few pros who would be in like that, like, but he's just, every time I've done a pass, he's like, good pass, good touch. Can you take it on the other foot? And this is through a game. I was like, that's
brilliant, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it was class.
Talking about Reedy signings at that time, Stan was one of the best debut I've ever seen.
Arsenal.
Stan Varga, Arsenal at home. But then Lillian, who you mentioned,
Terrible.
Crap.
Loved
Helmer never played. Remember Milton Nunes?
Milton. Listen, I don't care what anyone says, right? They got the wrong one. There was two. So there was one playing in one country and there was one playing in the other. And we got the other.
Identical names.
Identical. And he came on in a reserve game and he took a touch against Man U and I went, he's brutal.
But he could jump.
He could jump, but
oh well then.
But then but next thing,
right wing.
But then it's quite apparent what's happened, that something might be up. But then we're in Bar Hall, on Saturday night, and we're in the VIP bit, like Micky Holland, all of us, the usual. And we know this bouncer, Joe, and Joe comes over and he goes, I'm going to flatten this lad. I went, what's the matter? He went, I've got a 4-foot black lad sucking on a lollipop at the front of the queue, claiming he's your multi-million-pound new striker. And we went, Milden? And Mick's went, let him in. Bonds went, fuck off. He went, let him in. And it was like timing, just as the smoke, like the DJ like put out a song and he put like this smoke on, and from nowhere he's just walked through like that, Milden, with a lollipop, like that. And we're just like, Milden! And like from then, we absolutely loved him. But he was the wrong one, but every day he came in, right? And he was so happy because he's on good wedge, he's been given a car, he's been given a house, and he was just loving life. He got in the reserves at, we played Newcastle in the big derby at, do you know where the Newcastle Falcons play? So Milton's went down injured, and there was no stretcher. Micky Holland's ran on, and Mick's not even thought. Mick's carried him off like a toddler off the pitch. Instead of like getting someone to help him or something, Mick's like carried him like that. Milton's like that. Basically just had to do that.
Why were he only 4 foot?
Honestly,
5'3", maybe.
Was he shit? Like,
Good jumper though.
yeah.
That's one thing I remember.
Not the only need another jumper because he was in for goalposts, but it sounds.
How long did he last?
Did he just
He dug in. He dug in.
He tried. Kept jumping.
Done well, Johnny. He dug in. They were trying to get him out. He's like, nah. He just came in every day like that. Lottery winner.
It literally like he'd won a raffle.
He had.
We didn't get in touch with Milton. We're going to get him on.
And like people like Medina and that.
So were you still there when Medina?
Yeah, that was the final straw for me. Like I was just like, oh my gaffer.
You could just tell, couldn't you, that
Like,
he wasn't.
he was bringing in. Do you remember Backy or someone like that?
Mercimek.
Where's it? Did he kick a ball in football?
Yeah.
He just. So all this we've had like we've lost the playoffs. We've won the championships. We've had 2 successful seasons. We're winning all the time. We've then finished 7th twice in the Prem. So we're punching above our weight. They're loving us. The gaffer's loving the whole squad. And then the pressure came on a little bit, and he started signing people to come in, and it just wasn't working. Medina, like, we had me and Thirlwell, not being funny, we were better than him, miles ahead.
I was Maley. Like, I never really got to know him.
Who's that?
Mark Maley. I think he had to retire young, but...
So he came in as England.
Same age?
Yeah, below me. So he was England under 15 captain, you know, them good teams that go through, and it was a lot thought of. When he signed schoolboy, he was on the pitch at Roker Park in a Premier League game, and he should have played 200 games for Sunderland. At least he was going to be that good. Him and Quinny, as you say, this is part of the dressing room. Quinny's Irish international. He's been there, done it, and him and Maley had this kind of little bond where they roomed together. And Maley obviously put everything on his bill, but Quinny kind of go with it. But there was only one time they ever fell out because Quinny was really struggling with his back, and it was getting him a bit down. And every time he came into the change room, you could just see Maley straight away at Charlie Hurley. Maley was the first person you seen. So that was good for banter. Wasn't good for him because the gaffer seen him first all the time if he was like pissing around. And Quinny came in from training, he just went, my back's gone a little bit, you know, I'm struggling for the weekend. Maley from nowhere just went, oh, Quinny, you should go and play for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Quinny's just lost his shit. And just went after him. Maley's had to run. Come again, you little.
I think he's chasing him.
I chasing him again.
Called him a fat cunt.
Because Maley was a bit. He wasn't fat, but he looked big.
Looked
so
big,
that was the way to go with him. You should play for Borussia Mönchengladbach, and that was it. He was just off. But I've got a little bit on the Barnsley bit about Maley. I moved in with him for a bit when he's on loan at York, and yeah, there's more to come.
Any more on Micky Holland? What's the McCoy's crack?
Oh, so McCoy started doing a bit, did he, for ITV or something? He's been on every channel, hasn't he, McCoy? So he comes in to film a day in the life. And now what Mick's like? Mick's just like looking at what going. So the cameraman's in like that and filming McCoy's talking to Reid. And then he goes, thanks for that, and the cameraman just goes like that. He's got fucking boot polish all around his eye. Speed at it. He's just like that. So the lad doesn't know. So he's eating his dinner in the canteen like that, and he's just got that big polish.
It's like Beano crack, innit?
Honestly, Mick, it was another one of them, wasn't it? I'm a big believer in the best dressing rooms I've been in, and it's just not the players, it's everyone. It's like they're the things that make the team. They're the clubs and that.
Going back to Mickey, he'd set up his mat. Now there's all these academies. There's different rooms. You know, they've got their own private rooms and that way. You've got to go for a massage. Mickey's beds were right in the middle of the changing room.
So he was it.
I remember one day an agent came in. It must have been on about signing somebody. Lost. Asked for Reid's office. I remember the toilet, and there was a toilet in the changing room, wasn't there? He's like, oh yeah, mate, his office is just there, but make sure you knock. Don't just walk in. This agent stood there for 10 minutes knocking on the toilet door.
Aye. And because they were porta cabins, like, people think they didn't have the gents or anything on, did they?
The thing is, it's so childish.
Aye, it's
brilliant,
class.
isn't it?
He should write a book.
Oh,
He should
definitely.
write a book. He's honestly, he's got so much crack. Like it's so funny.
The scared one. I forgot about it, but you...
He just did it. I'm not. There's a groundsman who was not the best to look in, and every time he came in, he just gone. Ah! But you're talking whatever. Like it could be Tuesday, Wednesday. He's done it all week, and then see he's done it. He's done it. The lad's walked out. He's went for a piss. He's come back in, mate. Ah!
See, it's like
The old ones are the best.
it's childish as fucking it, but it's just brilliant.
Every time as well, every day. Huge thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this episode, gentlemen. Thank you, NordVPN, the best VPN service in the business.
I mean, you love it. more than any of us.
Still blows
Yeah.
my mind
Yeah.
that it actually works.
Well, for those who don't know, you can bench your location to anywhere in the world, which is ideal if you want to watch sporting events. They're only being shown in certain countries, streaming services. Maybe your favourite series has only been released in
Mexico.
Colombia, Mexico. You can just get on your VPN, bench your location to Mexico.
So you can watch series before they come out over here then, really, can't you?
Yeah, you can. You can, especially that Mexican curry.
Talk us through the security, Chris.
Oh, security services as well. If you've got a NordVPN account, it's like putting all your bank details, all your passwords, everything on lockdown.
Which I think is essential, isn't it?
Especially this day and age.
Yeah. You know, like if you're out and about, travelling, going to a coffee shop, need to send an email, you get onto their Wi-Fi. But no, it's a trick. It's some of these hackers, because they're naughty.
Yeah, they are.
And you think you're going on a free Wi-Fi, next minute they're in. Well, not with NordVPN.
See,
Everything's encrypted.
I'm learning all this myself now.
There you go. Everything's encrypted, and you'll get warnings. If anybody does get into your accounts that shouldn't be in there, you'll get a notification to tell you, and it protects all your passwords. So a lot of people use the same password, don't they?
Yeah, I would say so.
Johnny Boy 123.
Tugboat 6. It should be a new one.
Well, if you use the same password for everything, you don't need to worry about that with NordVPN because it protects all your passwords.
Is that all part of the service?
All part of the service. And as always, we're offering deals, aren't we?
Well, aye.
What have we got, Chris?
Exclusive 30-day money-back guarantee if you don't like it.
So you can
Not
try
really
it out.
There's not really much not to like, I'll be honest with you.
All you've got to do is go to www.nordvpn.com/kosh. You get a heavy discount there and a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's an exclusive offer. By the way, I don't know which one I'm pointing at, but that one. Did you mention Tommy Pepper before? Did we get into it?
No, the Tom Peters.
He celebrated when I wasn't there. He celebrated when Wilkinson went, wasn't it? A Cotterill.
I don't think he played a game, did he?
He was crap.
Good, just perfect for the changing room. Just such a nice lad, wasn't he?
His debut was Herveen away in a game, and like he lasted 20 minutes, and he went, "Peter, I am nauseous." He went, "Well, fucking come off then." And Gaffer blatantly turned around and went, "That's him done." Like 20 minutes, you just signed him on a 5-year deal.
I mean, you just nauseous.
I don't know what word.
I feel like shit.
Gaffer, I feel sick as a dog. I'm nauseous.
The only
Nicest
person who
man.
got away with not drinking and getting looked at was George McCartney. If you didn't drink, Gaffer's like, fuck off, don't trust you. But George never drank.
So were you pushing to go out on loan.
Yeah, I
You
got
were
to the
get-
time where, Julio came in and he was on the left and centre mid. And centre mids then, you had to be Vieira or Petit. Gav McCann came in, Gav was class.
Eric Waugh, was that?
Eric Waugh came in, how can you compete with that? Well, people can, but I couldn't at that time, so I pushed for it. And Steve McMahon, Gaffer's mate, Blackpool, come down. It was League One, and it was best thing I could have done. David Bardsley, right back QPR England. Beasley, who's been on
Yeah.
Gary Ablett, Kevin Richardson, who was more before gigs in the class of '92, was one of the most decorated players with the titles he's won.
Quite an old squad then, weren't
Clark
it?
Carlisle, yeah, it was. Clark Carlisle was young. Mike Neal. So the bus back from games was unbelievable, like the wine and the beer. But I remember it was great for us because we played, the training ground was horrific. Wash your own kit and stuff like that. That was my first a bit of doing that. And it was a bit of finding out. And first game went well. Second game, elbow off Brian Tinian early on, got us out the game. That was it. But my last game before I went, I scored an absolute worldie. First ever league goal. And I was proud as out. I was telling people about it, showing it. And Soccer AM used to do this thing called Better Than Pele. And it was on there, and Lovejoy went, this week, Chris Lumsdon is better than Pele. So it showed me worldie goal. So I'm running away in the orange kit. And he went, hey, it's good that he's done what Jamie Lawrence has done at Bradford, dyed his hair the same colour as his strip. Cheeky bastard. And then
Spell it Crew.
went back, Crew in the Championship, 16 games, went really well, playing against Barnsley's, Watford's, Birmingham's, Wolves, and winning. And it was great. And found it a little bit hard in the dressing room because I was busy and I wanted to do well, but it was too busy. It was kind of like a cult, I felt. And then Crammy came off loan from somewhere, and obviously I'm going to gravitate to Crammy, and Crammy's going to gravitate towards me, and that was it. We got a little Tuesday going, but yeah, loved it. Crew bid 500 grand for us, which was great, but I knew I wasn't going there. The contract was a shambles. It was £1,000 a week, £17,000 signing on fee for a 500 grand player.
In relation to your Sunderland contract, what were you hoping for if you did leave?
I was hoping to be paid as a £500,000 player. I was thinking quadruple that, to be honest. I was thinking quadruple that. The signing on fee comes in, but there's no appearance, there's no nothing. I just said, listen, I feel that £1,000 a week's not great. And he went, well, Kenny Lunt's on a little bit over that, and he's done more for this club than you have. So that's me thinking. I'm like, well,
So this was 2000.
yeah, and I went, that rationale is not. You brought me in to help Kenny Lunt. I know Kenny's a bit of a club legend, but he's been here through the... More often than not, the young lads don't get now, do they? It's the players who sign. So I thought I should have been on a bit more.
If being serious for a bit, you needed that good spell at Crew, didn't you? You're looking at your games played at this point.
yeah.
You needed to go somewhere and do well.
Yeah.
They end up wanting to pay money for you.
Like Peter Reid said, he goes, you're a victim of success. He kept giving us big contracts, kept offering us big contracts. I want you about the place. You're good for the dressing room.
That's not something you get. There's a younger lad.
But you know
is it?
what? A lot stayed for that. And I was like, I can't look back when I'm 30 and have 10 games on me belt. I can't. We went to Chelsea away and I was out the squad. So Adrian Heath and Sacco went, listen, come out with us tonight. We want to chat to you. And we went out, 3 of us. And they said, listen, there's a new contract there for you next week if you want it. Another 5 years, takes us up to 25, 26.
You're not playing.
Not playing. I'm in squads.
Yeah.
I'm in squads. I'm bench. And I just said, I can't. I says, I need to go and play. I says, I need you to help us get a proper club and go somewhere. And they just went, fair play to you. And Adrian Heath went, wherever I go, I'll fucking take you. No problem about that. So luckily, Adrian Heath got the Sheffield United job about 6 months later.
Did he come for you?
Did he? Fuck.
Did you make the call?
Little bastard. And then he got the bullet and he came back. I was just not right for you, or was it not?
I'm thinking about you.
Fucking hell, Eccleston Street or Eccleston Road or something, Student
Ecclesfield
Street,
Road.
right up my street, that. But yeah, so I went back and I was losing my head then. I was, looking at Tom Pepper and I'm sub for the reserves and stuff. It's never happened. And it's not because how I'm playing, it's because he's got to justify to the board who he's brought in.
So why are they offering you a 5-year contract? I just can't get my head around it.
Honestly, it was just, there's your new contract, sign that. And then it went quiet for a while. And then I've just went, on a Saturday morning, there was a fitness coach used to come in called Jerry Donahue. And I refused to travel to Villa because I went to the last 5 games and I was never in the squad. I was like, just wasting it. I was thinking, can I force through some sort of move here? So I went, and me and Johnny Oster didn't turn in. I didn't know he hadn't turned in, and he didn't know I hadn't turned in. We just didn't go in. So on the Monday, Niall Quinn's pulled us, and he said, listen, 2 weeks' wages, or you put a certain amount to the players' pool. So I went, right. And then I walked up to Quinny and I said, do you realise my wages are that amount, the players' pool? It's even. So he thought that my wage would be much bigger than this, and I said they're the same. So next thing, I'm like, Adrian Heath, who likes us, is a bit annoyed with us. And then he comes through and he goes, Gaffer wants you. I went, oh, fucking hell. I went through and he just went, you fucked up. But regardless of contracts, you don't have to extend it. I didn't know you had fell behind on the wages that much. So there's a new contract. Just sign it from now. You'll get that big signing on fee and you'll get them wages from now. I went, sweet. There's no negotiation. You can't ask for any more when I didn't money. I just went like that.
Big difference.
Yeah, big difference, good difference. And then I've walked back out and Adrian Heath must have told the lads. And as I went in, they're all clapping, going, way. And I just went, I'm still fucking off though. And it's good crack. It was only like 3 months after that. I played in a reserve game against Jamie Redknapp for Liverpool. And I'd done really well. And Adrian Heath was like, I'll get you this move. And my agent was down there. And I just said, ring Spackman. I says, I'd love to go to Barnsley. Just ring him. And my agent, to be fair, put Nigel Spackman on speakerphone and said, listen, I've got 2 players tonight who'll save you from relegation. One you can't afford, but one's you can. So he's saying like Redknapp. And he went, Chris Lumsdon. He went, And he went, ring Redknapp. Like, ask him how he played. And he went, I will ring Redknapp. I will. Because during the game, Redknapp was helping me. He was going great passing. And at the game, he went, keep doing that. Keep doing this, keep doing that, and keep working on your game like that. Fantastic. I was like, cheers. And Spackman rang him, and that's when the phone call came a couple of days later, and that was when I found myself in the Brooklands.
You went initially on loan?
Initially on loan. I thought I was going to be on the bench against Newcastle, and literally from going from your local pub on the Saturday, supping a pint, to up against Shearer, Rob Eyre, Gary Speed, 3 days later is how much football can turn, and it was just like I was on a massive high. Like,
Do well.
Yeah, like done really well.
Was it a cup game?
Yeah, cup game. You played
1-0.
Aye, Bellamy. 78.
I played in that.
Aye,
fucker.
Aye. So that was it. Straight after the game, I went up the players' lounge, and he's there with a pint, and that's when I said, I thought I can get on board with this. But a lot of them had pints. I went, it's like Sunderland. It seems the only thing was Barnsley were down the bottom of the league. These clowns had went to Tenerife or something for pre-season, and Chris Barker, bless his soul, they were getting Lilos and that, Mitch Ward, Lilos and that. He was meant to play in tournaments and stuff, and you didn't do it, and he's hardly trained. Spackman took you away.
Yeah.
And you started the league horrendously.
Yeah.
These were bottom and adrift.
Because you ended up getting relegated that season.
Oh,
didn't you?
gutted. I think, honestly, not bragging, I hit the ground running like, and I was scoring
You
goals.
were flying when you first came in. You were
and
flying.
it was, I knew if I'm going from Premier League player, I know not Prem, but to League One, that mentally that was like, oh God. But I loved it at Barn that season. I loved it. Staying in the Brooklands, playing all the time. Adrenaline got us through. Like Daz Barnard. Remember sitting in the dressing room. No disrespect, Johnny, but Kev Miller, Mike Sheeran, Bruce Dyer, Steve Chettle. They all just kept coming in. I was like, what a squad these have got. Like, these should never be down. But there was people tossing it right off, like, wasn't there? Tinkler.
I think, I tell you what it were. It was just at the transitional period of all heart rate monitors and all that. We've got a lot of experienced lads, names you've just mentioned, who couldn't get on board with it. Do you know, like...
There's a resistance.
Yeah.
Causing a
Do you know, like, they'd had a 10, 12, 14-year career, really good careers.
No, they're asking everyone
And they were
to
asking him
change.
to have heart rate monitors on and do this and prehab and all that sort of shit. And they were like, nah, I've done that for 14 years. Fuck this.
The thing is, they've only got themselves to blame if they're going to pre-season and they're letting the lads do what they want.
But they weren't allowed to go out But lads were fucking... The older lads were out most nights.
They said it was like a stag do. Spatman got sacked though. Steve Parkin came in. I thought, here we go. And I want this deal to go through. The deal was already sorted, but Steve Parkin wasn't sure. But we started winning. And then my loan was up and I made a decision not to stay for a third month. I said, it's shit or bust, like sign us or I'll just go back. So I went back and Sunderland had a game against Leeds and the gaffer called us in the office and he went, we've accepted a bid. This is like 2 hours before Kelvin went, have a couple of buds with us. Before a Premier League game, and just sit here, have a couple of buds. And I just looked to my left, Claudio Reyna, down to sign. So I kind of understand why I was leaving, because I'm not getting ahead of Claudio Reyna. That justified everything. But it was just having a couple of buds with Peter Reid before I left. And he just went, wish you all the best, mate. And I'll keep in touch in anything you need.
Some of these things here. I've got Inchy, Reid, dildo.
I better tell that then. Right. So I moved to Barnsley. I signed. Well, my house was getting built. Mark Maley is then went on loan to York. So I've thought, not that far, is it? Get out this hotel a few nights a week. I'll go and stay with him. But York have then got about 6 games called off in a row. So Maley's out Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday. York have given him this house. He's kicked the back door in because he's lost his keys. He's got a few man of the matches. I've took a few of my man of the matches in. He's got a few birds back. There's a few stuff gone on, nothing to do with me. I'm going back to Barnsley back and forward. So I come on this Friday night. He's not there. I text him. I say, where are you? He goes, I'm out on the piss. So I think he's out on the piss in York. So I think he's with a couple of birds, doesn't he? So I've assembled all the champagne right in the front room. I've put the dildo right in the middle to put the birds off to think he's a creep when they get back. Little do I know, his loan's been cancelled and he's back in Newcastle on the drink. I think he's in York. So York, whoever it was, secretaries went round to the house the next day and they found all this. So Maley gets dragged into Peter Reid's office because he's still at Sunderland. Adrian Heath's behind Peter Reid. Peter Reid's went, fuck's going on down York? He went, so Maley doesn't really know, does he? He went, what do you mean? He went, that house, you and Lummy just giving it the big in. But I'm not arsed, I'm away now. I'm away by now. He went, no? He went, well, the club secretaries went round and there's champagne all over. And Maley says he just looks and inches like that. He goes, there's fucking chocolates all over. There's packets of condoms. And she's like that. Reid goes, there's a fucking dildo. And she just goes, ah! And the whole just start creasing. And Reid just goes, just get out. It's like, and that's what I'd planted that to put off a lass I thought he was on a date with. And it just went absolute carnage. I don't think Sunderland were allowed to loan another player there for about 2 years. It was on the relegation. I was devastated with the relegation, but Steve Bruce, my agent rang us when Steve Bruce will have you. Had a good game against Birmingham. He went, Steve Bruce will take you if Birmingham don't go up. I was kind of like that though. I know I was dropping the League One, but I still wanted to stay at Barnsley. I was like determined to get them back up, honestly. And then Steve Bruce went, it's all sorted. We'll get you. If we stay in the Championship, I've got to go for other people if we're getting the Prem. I was like, no bother. And then they were 1-0 up in the second bloody playoff. It's final. They were 1-0 up in the second half of extra time. And then Birmingham scored, and then Darren Carter scored the winner. And he went and got savage. And then they done really well, didn't they? So that was like...
So there were any other Championship clubs?
Preston and Burnley. And then I just didn't fancy it. I was like, I honestly I thought we'd go straight back up. But the club was a shambles. We went into administration the next season. Weren't getting paid, and then I didn't play for about 3 months. I kept asking Glyn Hodges, it took over by then. I was asking, why aren't I playing? I'm playing well. He's like, just don't fancy it. So my head was falling off there. And then last day of the season, they came clean and said, if you had played the next game, we owed Sunderland like 125 grand. So I hadn't played for 4 months.
And they just played it as they didn't fancy.
They just didn't tell us. So I'm living in Barnsley on my
own. How are you feeling when you're at that house?
Probably looking back, first bit of mental health, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, lonely.
What, within the 4 month period?
Yeah.
Or when you get that news and realise that you...
No, all right after that, because I think, right, that's at least I know what the hell's going on. Even though I was angry, but that living in Barnsley on my own and just people say I like to drink and that I was down Wellington Street, they can understand a little bit now. I wasn't playing on a Saturday, knew I wasn't playing, but not the reason. And then on Saturday to go and break the monotony of all week down there on your own. And
nothing good is going to come from not giving you that information.
And I think now, I watch managers now and there's a lot more conversations on it. I mean, you've got Dele Alli being understood to have a timeout. What would we say if I said I was homesick once to Glen Hodges he just went, fuck off, you're a footballer. I went, brilliant. And you know what? I thought he's right. I need to fucking get my arse in gear here.
After that period, that 4-month period, what happened from that point then?
Local business came in after John Dennis. He got rid.
Crying.
Yeah, he came in and got Gudjon Thordarson in.
So does that change your situation?
I'll go in and say, Gudjon tried to sign me at Stoke when he was there. And he said, I'll sort it. I'll sort this out. And they got the fee paid straight away and I played under him. But Gudjon was different class. I thought he was different, but what he done is, I know it goes on to drink again, but we play on a Saturday, we go in Sunday morning for a warm down and we have Monday off. So Sunday is up in Newcastle, well, shit hot with Jesmond. So I'd do me warm down, up I went. We'd come in Tuesday, we'd have Wednesday training and we'd have Thursday off. Now Wednesday nights, you know what Wednesday nights like in Barnsley and Wednesday nights in Newcastle, unreal. So the social life was great, but also the football was good. But what happened? He had a squad of 16, 17, 18 players and we're top of the league. We then got the transfer embargo lifted and Peter Risdale's just signed everyone and it's just knocked the dressing room, completely buggered the dressing room. Yeah, tight because we'd been through this period of not getting paid. We've added a few to it. Everyone was on the same page.
Come out the other side.
You knew if you were out the team, you're going to try and get back in. Top of the league or top 3 and then Risdale, we get that ban, he just goes bang. And Risdale was always looking to bring Paul Hart in. But the lads, Tony Gallimore, Peter Handyside, Steve Hayward, all the lads would travel in. They'd play a game, so we'd be in the next morning. They'd stay at a hotel, but they'd just go all through the night.
I got sucked into that one.
Where's it you mentioned before?
The house.
That's it.
So what day is this?
So say we played a
after the
Tuesday
game.
night, they'll go out all Tuesday right through for a warm down on Wednesday, but they'll be in that Ardsley house right through.
To what time? What time we're talking?
All the way through.
Yeah.
Till Wednesday
All
morning.
night?
Yeah. Craig Island would sleep. Craig Island, the centre half, would sleep, so he's the car driver. Handyside, Gallimore.
He's just died, Peter, on the
Yeah,
side.
he has died.
Honestly,
What are you doing?
I were in my local, and they came in after the game. So it's must be 10:30. So we're up at the Ardsley house if you fancy it. Obviously, I'd played with Steve Hayward. I says, yeah, fuck it. Come on. I left at 4, 5. And they're going in at 9:30.
Yeah.
Beers and just chat.
Just sat boozing in the corner in the Ardsley house.
just
hotel.
sat. So you drink more usually when you're sat as well.
Yeah, but
So
for a 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, I need a bit of
Bit of
boogie,
music,
a bit of music, and a bit of
We all
a bit
do.
of a
We all
boogie.
do.
I'm
So
not.
would they just keep it open for them? The owners?
It's a residence bar, isn't
Yeah,
it?
residents, aye. Old
They're staying
school.
there. It's a hotel.
I thought you meant your local thingy. They stayed in there.
11 o'clock. Oh, we're not
You
going
still have to get,
we don't
you
get
still have
bothered.
to get the Chinese pass through and have your takeaway in there.
Yeah, can do if you want.
Top draw. Top draw.
If you want.
So they've gone in and Gudjon's went alcohol test today. So we've started the rumour, like Gudjon knows he's only lying, but we're like, here we go. And we say to Gallimore, we go, do you know what gets rid of it? Coppers, 2 pence pieces and 1 pence pieces. Next thing he's came in the bloody dressing room and
Like a money box.
like, what a duck egg here. And then he's gone. The next day, coleslaw city. Like, coleslaws, like, cuts, everything. Couldn't play on the Saturday. It's like that. And then he's trying to smile and his lips are splitting. Oh, nightmare.
Did you ever have Alex down as a manager?
Did you?
Nah.
He was young one. He liked the night out.
Oh,
But-
I'll be out Wednesdays, Saturdays.
Yeah.
Alex Neil.
But it looks like he's a good manager now.
Just
You know when he's
aggressive,
that.
wasn't he?
That aggressive.
Really aggressive at the point where he won't be able. I wouldn't have ever thought he'd be able to manage a group of 22 players.
Too aggressive.
Yeah, Like pinning people up, I'd have thought.
Angry. Good lad, though.
Yeah,
Good
great lad.
Were you just ready to get back up north?
Yeah, I was, to be honest. Paul Hawke came in, it was just Nottingham Forest, Nottingham Forest this, Nottingham Forest that. Bore off, man, will you? Like, putting Nottingham Forest bleep test marks up against ours, and you're just like, how? And then the best move, the move, thought, why am I going to Carlisle? Because, to be honest, we just went down to the conference. Stevie Hayward was a big ex-Carlisle legend, and I used to talk to him about it, and he said, Great Escape. So I used to be invested in their Great Escape when Paul Simpson took over, but they didn't make it. Went to conference, and I thought, Premier League to League One in a couple of seasons. Now I'm League One to conference. I'm like, I don't know. And I went and trained for Hartlepool for a bit.
Bit of pride there as well.
Aye, but I was on the verge, to be honest. I was like, I went and trained for Hartlepool, and there was no deal. They said they wanted us, but there was no deal, budget, and I just thought, I think I'm done, I think I'm done. The way everything's worked out, obviously not being able to play.
Fall off the radar, don't you?
Aye, massively. And I
Quickly.
thought, if it doesn't work out at Carlisle, I'm finished. And Simo was clever because he went, go and stay at your mum's tonight and come over to us in the morning training. So I thought Carlisle was about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So I went over in the morning. It was an hour and 10. So straight away, me brain, there was 2 North East lads, Kevin Henderson and Paul Arneson. And I went, this could work. And I just thought, right, I'll sign a month. And then the first day of the season, we got like 8,000 against Canvey Island. And we took 2,000 away to Forest Green on the Saturday. I went, this is a club if it gets going. And Simo just said to us, listen, if you're fit, you're available, you're playing. Like, don't worry about anything. You're going to play every time. And then that confidence suddenly was just, I know I was playing against, confidence wasn't like it was now. There's about 10 good teams. The rest were a little bit part-time and that. But confidence just went through the roof.
How old are you when you signed for Carlisle?
24, 25.
Right.
It's a good age, perfect age. And then literally during that conference season, months into it, like Darlow were making bids. There was a lot of people making bids for us, and I just went, nah. And I kept saying to Simo, I owe it to you because you're kind of saving my career. And this was what was good about Simo. He went, you don't owe me anything. He went, it's you who's doing it. You're the one who's being good for me. So I respected that because some managers, now they'll take all the praise, won't they?
Yeah.
They'll use it in interviews and go, I've got him back on track and stuff like
Take
that.
all the credit.
No, it was never about him. Even to this, it's
Even
never
though he
about
did, but he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't make it.
Never, yeah, even though he did, he never made it about him.
Yeah.
Never.
Did your lifestyle change at Carlisle?
No. No. Saturday night out.
All you needed was a bit of love.
Tuesday night out. If we're playing one of the part-time teams, the following Saturday, maybe a Sunday for a couple. But I knew we trained hard, and usual football in my time was Saturday night out, couple Sunday, Tuesday night out, recover Wednesday. The Wednesday was a bit
too much.
We were just unfortunate that it was student night, wasn't it? And it weren't Tuesday.
Yeah. This is about Simo. This is how good Simo was. I got 15% of a house. Now, the chairman of Carlisle was Fred Story, and he done houses. So a little 3-bedroom, but good 3-bedroom was about 160 grand. So I played the game. I went, and I'm looking to like move over as well. So he put 15% in. I wasn't. So I went into Newcastle and I bought a much more valued house than 160. So I put in the bill, and there was hell on. Chief executive pulled us in, and just John Nixon, he's called. He pulled us in. He went, you could go and buy a house in Florida, and like, doesn't mean we have to pay this. You could buy, this is meant for Story's home. And I was naive, and I went, yeah, fair enough. And Simo was sat with us. Simo went, I'll just have a word, please. John, can you just leave? And he went, you get this money. Look at your contract. It doesn't say anyway. You could buy a house in America. It says 15% of any house. So you get it. And I was like, really? He went, yeah, I'll stay with you now. Came back and he went, check the contract, John. I think we've just checked it. I didn't have an agent. He went, his agent will be checking it. He'll be due that 15%. I was like, that's why I'll run through a brick wall for you, Simo. He's just got like 50 grand, something like that. Honestly, it was like that much it meant.
I think Jeff Smith mentioned he got stitched up, didn't he?
Kevin Gall, tell him that Kevin Gall was Billy Liar at that time. He went, I got 40 grand off. I think Jeff got 5. And Holt was still in the middle of nowhere. Just great times. We're like, to go to League Two, we were playing top of the league, second top, and we're beating them 5 and 3s. And, you know, to get Bridgie there, I should have got the agent's fee there. I was just like, come up, enjoy yourself. But Bridgie was the same as me. He was on the verge of just knocking it. And then he came up to Carlisle, got in the dressing room, all a great bunch of lads, and just had that camaraderie. And then Bridgie, I don't like to say it, but if you're in a tight game, he'd just do something like ridiculous, like flick it on his neck and run with it if he wanted to.
I remember some of his goals.
It was.
Did he end up getting another move from there?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
Soccer AM did a thing week on week. Michael Bridges is too good for League Two, and he was showing his goals, and he got a good move to Hull.
So like you said, that togetherness, and it just kept building and building.
Yeah,
from there.
I mean, when
back-to-back promotions and then pushing on again.
Well, we said about Sunderland, didn't we? The 4 years of just like that. Carlisle was the same. So we got into League One. They said just try and stay up. Nearly got promoted again.
So when did Simpson leave?
Simo left then.
In League One playoffs?
Yeah, Neil
right.
MacDonald came in, and then his coaching was class. And then we done well. We like beat Forest, went toe-to-toe with Swansea, and we just missed out on the playoffs, but we weren't getting in, and we wouldn't have won the playoffs. So it was a great season, and we got like 2 months off. And MacDonald went, don't think you're having 2 months off. And I went, I'm having 2 months off. Because he was going to do the crew thing, coming in on Tuesday, Thursday, and the lads weren't having it. And it just kills you, doesn't it? You can look after yourself, can't you, and have a little break. The next season, after we just missed out on the playoffs, MacDonald got sacked on the first day of the season.
Is this the MacDonald that was at Villa?
No, this is Neil MacDonald, who was at Bolton.
Right.
That's Kevin MacDonald.
Kevin.
So yeah, so Neil MacDonald got sacked on the first day of the season. I went to knock on his door, and Bushead, Kitman, Andy Horns grabbed my arm. I went, what you doing? He went, just leave him. I went, no, I won't leave him. I want to know why I'm not in the squad. He went, listen, you'll be the happiest man in the world in 10 minutes. I went, why is he getting sacked? I went, shut up, man. And he went. So I went down to the dressing room. Danny Livesey was there, and Danny Livesey knew everything because I think Livesey had him at Bolton.
Right.
He was a young lad, and he went, he's sacked. And Livesey was fuming, and I was like, shut up, man. Like, yeah. Next thing, Gaffer comes in. I've been sacked, believe it or not. Shaking everyone's hand. As he's shaking everyone's hand, his ringtone is his daughter singing, come on, Carlisle, goes off.
Oh, no.
And it just went, so he shook everyone, he's went, and then Greg Abbott, so Neil MacDonald's brought him in, Greg Abbott Gans. This is hard for me, because he brought me in. But I fucking want this job. Like, fucking hell, Greg. He's not even out the door. Aye, fucking hell. But, so, and then John Ward comes in and we fly. And we should go up. We're beating Barnsley, Brighton's, Bournemouth's. Yeah, that season was like flying. And we just ran out of steam. We had Joe Garner up front. And Joe came in as an 18-year-old. He got on board, drink, train hard, like, we're going to ruin him. He didn't. We just done it at the right times. Got done in the playoffs off Johnny Howson, last second goal. Won 2-1 down there in front of sellout Elland Road. Got beat 2-0 at our place. And Doncaster won the final. Cotton and all that. They won 1-0. Hayter scored, I think. I said I just want one more game before I decide what I want to do. So we went up to pre-season and I played it against Partick Thistle. And I just thought, there's a problem with me arse cheek here. And it turns out my disc had crumbled into my nervous system, sciatica right through my leg, numb foot. It just went, you could be finished. So I went to the specialist, and he said, I'm going to have to put a injection in your spine with no anaesthetic. And I'd seen that. I went, oh no. And the nurse, I knew I was in trouble because the nurse bent down and went, I'll hold your hand. I went, and then they dissolved the disc after that. And it kind of just, I had a numb foot. It wasn't working. And they just basically said, don't travel in. Just, we're going to pay, because of what you've done, we're going to pay you. Just go home, chill out, do what you need to do. You've got 6 months. Don't think you're doing anything for 6 months. What a 6 month that was. Well, my mate had just been released from Premier League. Stu Nicholson, people know him at West Brom. He's like, he went from Premier League player on the bench at 18 to about 6 months later not having a club because he pretended to West Brom he's on loan at Shrewsbury. He pretended to Shrewsbury he was back at West Brom. He went on holiday. so he's got this big payoff. So that's me and him, 6 months, like just enjoying myself, doing everything you can do when you're not a footballer, like kind of living that life. And then I knuckled down, got back, got fit, got back in the team, and then Greg said, don't worry about contract, there's a contract waiting for you at the end of the season. I went, nice one. I said, I know I'm not at my best, but I'll try my best. And Kavanagh, Ian Hart were there, and they done well. They shouldn't have been, but they nearly got relegated. So we stayed up, and then I went in and he just withdrew the contract. Oh. And to be fair, in hindsight, he was right to do it. He was right to do it because I couldn't get back. But I just thought, should you withdrew it when you give it? But I'm over that. And then I walked through to see Dennis Booth and he was in tears, and then Greg came through in tears. I was like, Christ, Greg, it's not going to pay the bills, is it? He went, I've got a supporters meeting tonight, I'll do a toast for you. I went, nah, that'll pay the mortgage. You do that toast for us.
And how old were you then? Is that 29, 30?
Yeah. What's happened at Barnsley? What's happened at Carlisle in the end? I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to be a missionary. What was he called? Mercenary. Mercenary. I get a phone call off Greg, to be fair. He says, Colin Todd's going to ring you. I says, my back's fucked. He says, just limp in. Just sign the contract and get it. So I went, sod it. Spoke to someone who was kind of representing us. He goes, do it. I went down, limped in, got to his office, strutted in. Yeah, 2-year deal. Walked back out, collapsed in my car, 2 years money. I just thought, I'll try and get back. So,
did you know?
I thought I had a chance. Actually got fit and played the first 2 games of the season. Done all right.
Feeling it though?
Yeah, not fit. Not like I'm managing through a game. I'm like 60%. But I can do it. I can get in front of the back four, and then it just went. And then that was it. I just thought, not retire, but I'm going to try and keep fit. But by then, the club was just a shambles, Darlow. There was no one there. There was no money in it. The contract wasn't big money. Raj Singh came in, changed managers. Colin Todd went. Steve Staunton came in. The biggest letdown in football. You remember Steve Staunton when you watch him play? And his career.
About him, yeah.
Jeff Smith there at
Jeff signed together. Staunton was hopeless. Jeff's told you the story. This is what they're going to play. It's 12 men on the... I was just trying to catch you out. No, you weren't, Stanley. No, you weren't. Training was shit. The club was shit. And then the best thing is, he goes, yous are a cancer to my club. 6 of us who have got contracts. All pros who've got hundreds and hundreds of games behind them, cancer to a club. What? Because we won't take you 30% payoffs. So what he done was, instead of making us go to every game and sick him with, he went, right, yous lot. He's don't train with the first team. He's going and train with the youths at 9:30 in the morning. I want you away by 10:30. And on weekends, you don't travel with the first team. You don't come to first team games. Nee bother. Like literally, nee bother.
I think he's got this the wrong way around.
I'm getting paid to keep fit. I don't have to come in every day. And I'm training with Lids, who's a class coach, getting fit, getting stronger, loving it. Training with Dan Byrne, training with all these little younger kids who I'm trying, like, showing a good attitude and taking a bit of responsibility, and like they're admiring me and saying, how aren't you in that team? Because they're getting beat 5s and 6. And I said, I don't want to be. I said, I want to be with you. And Lids is like, do you want to take the youth team with us on a Saturday? I went, nah, absolutely no chance. Like, I couldn't think it out worse. And then Staunton gets this, Staunton sacks Jeff, which is unbelievable. You know, Jeff told you had that tragic car accident, his sister-in-law. And Jeff goes up. Jeff was too nice there, to be honest, I thought, on here. He popped up for the carvery, and to get done 2 weeks' wages. I actually told Jeff, he rang me before he went in. I told him to call him a cunt. So I think it was my fault. He went in with the cunt. I told him to shout it, but he went in quite articulate, which I think sometimes hits worse, doesn't it? Because you can't put it down to anger. You put it down to...
a calm calculator.
Yeah.
And then they were just offering crap deals. And then at the end of the... Simon Davey came in, Ryan Kidd, and they went, everyone trained back together. And I know what they were doing again, like Ryan Kidd's trying to be me mate. Where do you live, Lummy? I went, oh, no bother, Ryan, I live 10 minutes down the road. I love coming in to train. Unless I get 100%, I'm not off. That's what you're asking, aren't you? And he went, trying to get us out. And so Simon Davey got them going. He got them going a little bit. And to be fair to Simon Davey, went, who out the youth team can you think step up? And I went, Michael Smith. He said, Chef Wed now, Rotherham striker. And he went, Staunton's released him. I went, get him back. And put him in. And he put Dan Byrne, he put Michael Smith. I think Dan had played already under Staunton, but Michael Smith got back in, scored a couple and got moved to Charlton. Done well. Done really well. League One, League Two Championship, Michael Smith. And then at the end, they've went. So all summer I went, are you going to pay us up? Raj Singh's trying to come to an agreement. It's not happened. I said, right, I'll see you July 1st. And Mark Cooper's took over. And I've just walked over to Mark Cooper and I've just went, I'm going to boot all them balls away unless I get my money, like today. He just went 2 seconds, rang someone, just went, Raj Singh's got your check. Went and got it, retired, like that day, just went, that's it. And then, so that basically, the last 2 years of my career, apart from 6 games for Carlisle, I was literally nursing her back. But my social life was unbelievable. But a bit unprofessional, but I'd been drove to that by the end of that.
Yeah. Got to do what you've got to do, haven't you?
And that's the bit people don't see, do they? They don't see this Barnsley, the politics. People asking why out on a Wednesday night, because I know I'm not going to play. Why I'm out on a Sunday? He's not putting us in the squad. But the Carlisle shift like proper. Like I live there now, do the radio, do mental health stuff in all the schools, work for a good business. All off just thinking, I'll go and try and play for them. I might go and see it. And we won the conference final. We had the last minute. They said to the ref, how long's gone? Like how long? He goes, kick it out to play. So I've just turned my body and wellied it out to Stokes ground. So that's become a bit iconic. Like I've just wellied it out. And from then, just in one of the more successful times. And they're like Simo, John Ward, decent.
Loads of people asked about somebody that I can't remember the name.
They asked about James Phillips. He does the radio with us.
Does he get a bit of stick?
He gets a bit of stick. Cause you know what? He's busy as, and he's good, very good at his job. And I think when lockdown happened and you watched on iFollow, you listen to everyone else's. So Harrogate's commentators like that. Oh, and the number 43 bus is just going past again. Well, James is like, he's in there, he's winning. So I think they appreciate him that more. But he kind of says some stuff and I just tumbleweed him. I don't get involved. And I think that's why I just say like,
you enjoy it?
I enjoy it. You know what? I would go to a game anyway, so I might as well get paid to do it.
Did you never fancy staying in football into coaching?
No, because my mind kind of changed at Carlisle. Simo and Dennis Booth changed my mind and like kind of sounds busy. Fell in love with Carlisle as a club and I knew a lot of people around there. So like winning became everything and I got kind of pent up all week about it. So when I won, the Saturday Sundays were class because it was a release and then it was focused again. And then when it finished, I thought, I don't need that anxiety and bloody nerves all week. I just want to chill. And then the minute I retired, it's just little things like Friday night, just going for like pint with your mates or eating what you want or like booking holidays or Christmas. You're not thinking, oh, I'll be off then.
Sounds petty, but it's your life, isn't it? You've got life away from football.
Yeah. But on the other hand, I'm 18-year-old. I'm eating lobster and prawn with Niall Quinn on a balcony, and my mate's hammering Frank Bruno.
The players you played with, who would you take from Sunderland, wherever you've played? Who would you like a night out with?
Well, Danny Graham and Gaz Medina, I haven't mentioned this one. Danny Graham and Gaz Medina, when they link up, that's it.
Chaos.
So we go to Derry every year for a game of golf, and they got into this competition last year. Let's FaceTime our ex-managers, see who picks up. So Danny's like, can you win? Brendan Rodgers. No one's picking up. Gaz Medine Gans, Warnock. Gaz like, pissed. Warnock's on an easy jet like, Gaz? Gaz goes, Gaffer! Warnock Gans, abort. Yeah, that really. Unbelievable.
Abort
on that bombshell.
Cheers, mate.
Top man, mate.
Brilliant.
See you on the dance floor in about 2 hours.
Cheers for having us, but as well for you lot, helping a lot of people I've heard as well, listening to these. Like I'm big into the mental health thing, but everyone I speak to says top class and get the AirPods in, even at work. walking, whatever. Some great stories have been on, haven't there?
Nice one, mate.
Genuinely though, Chris, what's the thoughts on the gilet? Is it me or not? Because I knew.
I want to say, I know I'm not the most fashionable, but surely you come to me before you go to that. Surely to fucking God. Jesus Christ. It looks heavy.
It's warm.
It does look heavy.
That's what they're for.
It looks more like a weighted vest. You know, like...
Yeah, I think it's ducked down. Feathers in there.
Oh.
You can
Proper
sleep on
stuff.
it as well.
It rolls up
It's
as
a pillow. It does look very suicide bomberish, doesn't it?
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Can we go with that?
Of course we can. Of course we can.
I've never really understood the process of the gilet because...
This is perfect right now.
Why not just have sleeves on it?
Because it's like a
Why
hybrid.
take the sleeves off?
I didn't want to put a coat on. Because the hoodie's keeping us warm, but this is just an extra layer in case, if you go somewhere, it gets a little bit cold towards the end.
A full jacket, you could have an extra layer on your arms as well.
You're right. Why am I taking fashion advice off this?
I'll tell you what I think it is with the gilet. I think it's the fact that you've got a coat sort of thing on, but it don't look like you've got a coat on.
Mm-hmm. It's more comfortable than a coat.
Like somebody not walk in and say, "Oh, you're not stopping." Like when they normally take you, if you've got your coat on in an house.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not stopping.
You didn't say this to Sherwood anyway when we sat opposite
He
him.
didn't have a gilet on, did he?
Nobody's renowned for it, isn't he? That's why do you think I've got this on?
Well, Chris Lumsdon.
Very good.
By the way, another Undr The Cosh fuck up.
We had on the day, was it the evening of, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That we recorded this. We had Lummy on the Sunderland live show. You recommend
who?
it, Chris?
Louis?
Lummy.
Definitely said Louis, but...
Do you think? Mm-hmm. Lummy?
So
Louis?
we had Lummy on
Louis
the live
Lum.
show, didn't we? That
Yeah.
night. So you're doing your research the day before.
Brownie's recommended him, booked
Yeah.
him. And it was
Everybody
in-
knows Lummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone knows Lummy.
The years he was there. Man and
many-
boy.
How many appearances for Sunderland?
I did the research the day before, and I thought I had to check whether I'd written the right name when I went into Wikipedia. 2 games.
2 appearances.
I was expecting at least 50 for a live show.
And one of them was sub, wasn't it?
don't know, you tell us.
I think one was sub. I don't think he started both games.
It just goes to show how much notice you take of me, because I remember being on the way up to Glasgow on the train, and I said, I've got Chris Lumsdon here for the live show, but he's barely played for Sunderland. And you both went,
Yeah, but
Barely.
barely. Still, you think, 20, 30 games,
Yeah.
barely played.
well, that's
for
your
him.
fault for...
Not 2.
2 games.
And I think Chelsea, 4-0 defeat. So probably not a fan's favourite in that too. But what I will say, lads, because you aren't the only 2 that have questioned me choice for live show, but a lot of people message saying, lads, just to let you know, Chris only played 2 games for Sunderland, so why are you getting him on a Sunderland live show?
Yeah.
He was unbelievable, wasn't he?
Very, very good.
He had
Yeah.
some goal. Because that's the thing, he was only, granted, he was only played the 2 games, but he was there all through that Peter Reid generation.
The golden.
He was almost in the background soaking it all in as a youngster.
I think what we can take from it is, once again, we probably fucked up and got away with it. That's top and bottom in it. But no, very good episode.
And he rivals Lairdy, Scott Laird, for number 1
Fan.
fan of the
Yeah.
podcast. So
And just for clarification,
Plastic one.
me and Chris, neither of us visited the Noshers. Lummy's messaged me to say, just to clarify, yeah, me and you,
That is mind blowing.
clean as a whistle. Class though, innit? Clean
One
as
of
a
those
whistle.
things that you just in like. It's just
mind-blowing.
yeah.
Just a quick one on back to this. That doesn't fit in the bike when you're doing your spinning. Can you reach down and get it mid-session?
I'm thinking about putting a chain on. Mate.
Massive, man.
2,000 litres. No,
2,000
2,000 millilitres.
I'm going swimming in it tonight.
Are you nearly there as well? It's the biggest sippy cup I've ever seen.
So just for clarification, bike handle.
Yeah.
There we go.
And is it easy
Can't be-
accessible?
no, it's
Just
gonna
give us a
slip
demo.
off. It's going to slip off if you're doing it
You're
proper.
thirsty, you're halfway through, one click, bosh.
You can't be chugging that up bike. Or has it got a straw?
Don't even have to tip her
It's
up.
got a straw.
Like Bradley
I'm gonna
Wiggins
get
with
one.
that bastard. I mean, it's just fetched
Oh,
it.
yeah, I could just see Bradley Wiggins now doing Tour de France with one of them hanging off his handlebars.
He's going round in circles.
Just to show you again. Boom, I've got a drink. No drink. Drink. There we go.
What's in it? You don't like cordial?
Vodka. Vodka blackcurrant. I don't like cordial. I love cordial.
Yeah.
I'm a
What you go to?
Vimto.
Vimto. Vimto's the one.
Ribena's
Just how this
subpar in our
blackcurrant
house.
and apple, maybe?
Double strength.
Oh, aye. So she'll need to put up to Don't Quit Now, and it's strong enough.
By the way, there's a fight
Up
on
to
them.
don't quit- What are you up to? 8 p.m. of sugar? Rest water.
No, it's all no added sugar. Wait a minute, lads.
It just sounds good, doesn't it?
Hope everybody enjoyed Friday Club on Friday.
There's more goodness to come, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah, the response from the first episode was I mean, the emails were off the hook.
I tell you who slipped into my DMs. Edna. The
Maud?
swimmer. No, the swimmer.
Which,
She remembers it like it was yesterday. She's been swimming on a Tuesday night ever since. Just hoping,
Waiting for you.
just hoping for another tickle.
get the water bottle involved next time.
Fucking hell. No, she's old, but she was ready. She was
Yeah,
the
thanks
last.
for everybody who emailed in. We've got stories. We've got. I mean, I know some
Lads, just a minute.
people were probably expecting a bit more football chat, but I think it just naturally evolved. There wasn't going to be any.
We'll probably
Unfortunately,
the same every Friday club.
yeah,
We need a bit of football in there, man. Just a
Took
bit.
a little bit in, a little bit in.
Right.
Right, yeah, and once again, thank you to those Patreons that keep supporting us.
Thanks for
It's
listening.
very much appreciated. Who've we got next week? We don't know yet.
Why do you ask us? We don't know for a fact we don't know.
No, it'll be a surprise.
Yeah, it really will.
And if you've made it this far, please. Just there. Why do people do that with the fingers?
You tell us you're doing it.
I'm one of them, aren't I? I'm a YouTube wanker now.